Hello, sports world, and hello, sports lovers. You are now tuning in to the Real McCoy Sports Podcast on your DPN Dream Podcast Network. And I am your host, always and forever will be, doing the most, Franklin J. McCoy III, but you can call me Frankie. Okay, today we're talking about Russell Westbrook. All right, and he's having his dilemma with the Lakers right now, and let's dig into his you-know-what, because he's been skating by a long time with this false narrative idealization of who we think Russell Westbrook is or who we thought he was. So and this is going to be quick video because he doesn't deserve a long video. So Russell Westbrook, I used to enjoy. Now listen to the particulars and the details of when I talk. I didn't say I used to love watching Russell Westbrook, but I used to enjoy watching his game because he played hard. I'm a big fan and big supporter of people who play hard. But as the years go by, was he really playing hard? Or does he just play hard on offense? Or is that playing hard? Or does he give full effort on trying to get stats? And I think that's where I am with it, because as I look back at his old stuff, and I didn't mean it, but I used to argue with people because this is one pet peeve of mine. One pet peeve of mine is I hate watching extremely talented people not give their all. And they're so gifted that they get by. And I hated that because I wasn't gifted. So, there's always a method. There's always a reason why somebody's better. But it never spilt over to jealousy. Never. I'm never a jealous player. Never. A little envious. How did he get there? But never jealous. Never jealous. It wasn't good enough. But Russell Westbrook / Westbrook, he put up a lot of numbers for OKC. I was a big fan. So I used to tell people, I say, if I want to start a team, I'd rather have Russell Westbrook than KD. At the time, I told people, I said, he's not better than KD. Of course not. That's blasphemy. But sometimes KD disappears. Sometimes he gets quiet. And at the time, he's a little soft. In my opinion, KD's not a intimidating factor. Even though he's really skinny, that doesn't disqualify you from being the tough man. Or no, a lot of people are skinny and tough. I didn't strike KD as tough, and maybe that's the background. Maybe that's living in a single parent home with just a mama. I had mama and daddy. Then I had one of those tough daddies, so maybe that's it. I always played hard, and I didn't strike KD as that. And I felt like that weakness in his game could be exploited. And I didn't feel that Westbrook was better than him. It's just that I felt Westbrook wanted it more. He played harder. I enjoyed his game because it was so in your face. The energy was crazy and through the roof. But Kevin Durant disappeared sometimes. And sometimes lack motivation. And maybe I didn't understand the dynamics in the locker room behind the scenes. Maybe that's it. Probably was it. KD is an awesome, great player, but I see his weaknesses. Other people, they don't allude to it. They don't shine bright lights on it. I think he's a little, what they say, light in the backside. You can back him down easy, this and that. But a lot of people, they don't exploit him. I don't know why. But he's a great player. But Russell Westbrook, so he fills up all these stats. He drives to the basket a lot. I used to think he was a great defender, but come to find out, he plays no D. No D. Maybe that's because when I turn on the TV, he's getting a steal. Maybe he's intercepting a pass, and people think that's defense. I mean, essentially it is, but that doesn't mean you were playing D. That means, you gotta pick. You're good at intercepting the pass. Curry gets away with that. Curry gets a couple interceptions and steals, and he's a pretty good defender. But every time he guards his man one-on-one, he gets blew by a lot of the times. But Russell Westbrook, for him to be so athletic and he presents this facade that I'm extremely hard player, offense and defense. But when you watch him, he's Olan a lot of people. Go by me, I don't care. Just give me the ball once they make it so I can go down and try to get a dunk. He doesn't slide his feet side to side. I hardly ever see him stay in front of anybody, and I don't understand why. And you're getting paid all this money, so please explain to me, a lot of these players, what are you getting paid for? So are you getting paid just for offensive production? Are you? A lot of these people are getting paid a lot of money, and okay, Westbrook puts up a lot of stats, and this supports my theory. I argue with a lot of people, and I say sometimes stats are misleading or what's the right proper term to use that? It's not interpreted to the truest form, meaning that the stats might support your argument. Oh, he leads the league in point percentage, or he leads the league in rebounds. And let's give an example of rebounds. He leads the league in rebounds for a guard. Okay, here's where numbers can be misleading. Okay, so that might be true. But if you look at the game, maybe the player we're talking about grabs 7 or 8, 9 rebounds every fourth quarter of every game because they're always getting blew out, and he stays in the game and the other team puts in their backups. Maybe that's why his stats are the way they are. And that goes for all sports. People don't take that in consideration. They just see the numbers and say, it is what it is. Look at it. The numbers tell everything. No, the numbers don't tell everything. Just like I said in football. There could be a bum quarterback with okay stats. How did he get his okay stats? Because he's getting blew out of every game by 4 touchdowns, and they take all the starters out, and by the second half, he's always putting up numbers against these second and third string defenses. So his numbers are looking pretty good at the end of the game. But in all actuality, he got blew out in the first 2 quarters. So people, they don't take that in consideration. And I don't think there's no accurate way to depict and to properly show the effectiveness of each stat. There's no way that you can do that. You have to create new categories for each stat to properly put it in its proper perspective. If I'm making sense to you people. All right? And if I'm talking too fast, that just, like E40 said, that just means you're listening too slow. All right? Because I am Frankie, the Real McCoy Sports Podcast on your DPN Dream Podcast Network. And so Westbrook, he's misleading people. He misled me for a lot of years. Or maybe I just didn't want to see it. Because I always knew, but I just didn't want to see it. I don't respect guards that... You don't have to be a good shooter. You don't have to be a great shooter. You don't even have to be an okay shooter. But if you're playing professional basketball, you have to knock down a shot. And you have to consistently knock down a wide open shot, mid-range, wide open shot. Understandable that everybody can't hit threes. But you have to and if you're not a great defender, know who you are. Perfect example. Rip Hamilton from the Detroit Pistons. When they went on that championship run, he hardly ever shot threes. He got the ball, even when he caught it the 3, he ripped through, swung through, took a couple dribbles, and took shots around the free throw. Our guy from the Warriors, Sean Livingston. Out of all the time he's been with us winning chips, I maybe seen him take 3 threes? 3? Out of all the years, maybe 2 or 3. He always went to his sweet spot, mid-range. So Westbrook, and here's where Russell Westbrook and LeBron James and a few other players on the NBA who transformed their game into three-point shooters because they wanted to, and not because they were three-point shooters, because they try to be. LeBron tries to be. So Russell Westbrook, okay, you can't shoot threes. Fine. Stop shooting so many. Like, you're shooting so many. And then he's missing so much. He hears all the banter and chatter and criticism, and then he comes out the next games, does the same thing. Pulls up about 7 threes. Next game, same thing. 5 threes. Next game, 6 threes. Might make 1 or 2. If you're lucky. So he's an overrated. So he put up a lot of stats. Filled up a lot of stats. And I feel like partially the reason for that is because he's playing in a new day with these referees. They finally woke up. They finally got woke and said, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, all you little flip-floppers. Chris Paul still skating by. Oh, that's a little slimy, greasily. Oh, little feller. I'm not a fan of Chris Paul. He's, in my opinion, we'll make another video on him. The dirtiest, the sneakiest, under the radar, dirtiest player who ever lived. Trips people, pulls down on their jerseys, hooks their arms when they go up for a shot and pulls down on it, act like he didn't do anything. He always dribbles, and when he gets ahead of you, he wants to stop so you can run into him. I don't like that shit. Okay, I don't like that. I was the type of player, I'm the right type of player for that type of person. So, the Chris Pauls of the world, I'm 6'2". I'm probably a little bigger than him right now. I'm 230-ish, maybe 240, 230-ish. But I like working out. And I had a motor of a, how would you say? I had a motor of an ADD person on crack. That's how I played basketball. My motor was, I was all over the place. Like, did he just hit some crack? Damn, tell him to slow down. What's wrong with him? He's always amped. Don't say anything to him or you're going to rile him up. That was the type of player I am. But I have all the smoke for players like Chris Paul. I'm not a big fan of him. Is he a good player? Yes. A really good player? Yes. Is he a great player? No. No. Is he a basketball god? Hell no. Who the hell named him basketball god? I mean, point god. Who the hell named him point guard? Did you see Stephen Curry made him do a breakdancing when he touched the back of the floor on the sideline a couple of years ago when he played for the Clippers? He was breakdancing. Thanks to Curry. Curry had you breakdancing. Yeah, touch the floor, touch your knees, touch your elbows. Another dirty player, I just don't like him because how did he make it in the NBA? Patrick Tar Baby, Crack Baby Beverly. He's another dirty one I don't respect. He wants to get in people's face, brush your teeth. Second of all, comb that hair of yours. Why is it always nappy? And it's not like it's a little nappy, but I got a lining so it looks neat. It's always all over the place. Like you just came from the projects and said, I'm on your team now. Go comb your hair, get a haircut, do something. Brush them teeth and stay out of people's grills with your bad breath. Now, Westbrook put up a lot of stats. They say he's a Hall of Famer. No, I don't think so. No, I don't care what his stats say. He can't beat anybody. You take all the greats who were Hall of Famers and they played against Westbrook with an equally talented team, he would lose every time. What makes him so special? What? Because now that he's a little older and they're trying to say, oh, his athleticism is affecting him now. He's not able. He can still dunk. He can still drive the lane. He still can do what he does. I don't see a drop off in his talent. I don't. Maybe just a tiny bit, but I don't. The fact of the matter is people aren't playing that shit anymore. First of all, the refs aren't going to call that BS that you and Harden made all your millions off of, faking people into sticking their arm out. Oh, I get some shots. That's not basketball, and I'm glad they went away with that atrocity. But Russell Westbrook, he's not a Hall of Famer in my book. So what people are doing now is they're seeing him at his truest form. They don't want to guard him because he can't shoot. And people start taking notes on what you're doing to Westbrook. You should have been doing to LeBron. Sure, he can shoot a little bit better than Westbrook, but they both cannot shoot. And so people aren't guarding him. And they're not allowing him to get those drives in the lane. And they're forcing him to make dumb decisions. And the problem with players like Westbrook and all these youngsters nowadays is They're so used to being babied, coddled, everybody letting them get away with what they want to get away with. I drive to the basketball. You got to call a foul if I miss it. No, if you get fouled, we call the foul. But Russell Westbrook has gotten away with these whistles. They coddled and babied him for so long in the NBA. And a lot of these kids, especially kids I coach and stuff like that, a lot of these kids, they're a product of this environment. This environment of you don't have to grind anymore. You don't have to grind in this basketball journey anymore. You just have to learn a few things and get great and get really good at that. And then we can use that and we'll have the referees adjust to your guys' game. Back in the day, they were well-rounded. Sure, they can shoot three-pointers better nowadays. Sure, everybody can shoot threes. But I still like the old players back in the day. They were better players. I don't care what they're talking about. Oh, they're more athletic. I don't see that. What, the food's different now? What, are they putting more chemicals in the food to make us bionic basketball players? What, do they have better equipment to make them more better? Yeah, you might have updated machines, but like my pops told me, everything in life, nothing changes. Just the players in the game. Nothing changes. It's nothing so different from nowadays. Sure, technology is more advanced, but nothing's really different. This life is the same, and I'm starting to see that the older I get. There's nothing about this. So when this basketball comes to play, Russell Westbrook, he's not a Hall of Famer in my book. He's an okay player, but he's getting exposed right now. His game is porous. He never worked on his shot. I don't know how the hell he can't make free throws. And I don't know why the hell he keeps taking all these damn jumpers. Just keep driving to the basket. Force these players to converge on you and keep dishing it off. Get your assist up if you want to be assist king, but you're not a great scorer. And they exposed you. You're not working on your outside game. Work on your turnovers, your decision making. And that's pretty much it on Russell Westbrook. I respect his game, but he has a lot of holes in his game and he can't shoot. And how much would I pay him? Because I like to do this a lot. If I was general manager, I'd pay him $5 million a year because of the draw he brings in. I'll be damned if I pay you $7, $8, $9 million for you. You don't do enough. What do? You don't get steals anymore. You don't try hard on defense because he has the talent to be a really good defender if he puts his mind to it and wants to. Now, so that's Frankie's thought on Russell Westbrook. And the last point, case in point of why he's not in the Hall of Fame, and everybody knows this, it's not a secret. Them damn outfits you wear. The damn outfits. What the hell are you doing? Are they paying you to wear this? Is that why? Or are they? Seriously, I want to know. Are they paying you to wear this shenanigans? This Jocelyn Stevie J shenanigans. You look silly. Westbrook, stop wearing that. Stop. It's messing up your game. Stop. You look silly. It's like somebody, you really want, I look at him sometimes in the pregame, it's like, you really wanted to wear that? What did your girlfriend say? She said that's cool? She likes that? Or is that her clothes? And she didn't want to bust you out. Hey, that's my outfit, Westbrook. Get that skirt back. Or pull it up. But that's Frankie. And that's my take on Westbrook / Westbrick. And you heard it here from Frankie on the Real McCoy Sports Podcast on your DPN, Dream Podcast Network.